we're coming to the second of our 6-minute sessions webinar. Hi in person this week. Hi, hello. Into that. The situation is that we're accountants and we do liquidations and we set up businesses, get them making money, or the opposite, shut them down completely. But one thing that we're coming across an awful lot lately is that people are mostly concerned about two items. One, keeping the taxman off their back. And the best way to do that is to make money. And the second one is getting out of debt. And that can be trickier, harder and slower. The main reason being is an awful lot of the items that have to be dealt with are outside of your control. So we had our first of webinars last week, which was addressing why people are in debt and why they're broke, just very quickly, a 6-minuter. And the main thing was to drop the excuses, look in the mirror, forget about blaming and whining, and push on. Okay. So once you get over the cribbing and the complaints, the next thing is to start getting organised. Now, we're hired occasionally to do this for people, but the more you can do yourself, the better organised you are, the better results you will get. And there's some very basic items that have to be done every time. So we're going to run through those now in the next 5 minutes, and you should be well able to keep up with these. This is an area of concern for you. Okay. The main thing that we say is that it's impossible to make proper financial decisions if you're under financial strain. Okay, you just can't think straight. You're just distracted. Your mind is all over the place, and the first 6 months of what we find is fixing bad decisions that have already been made. It's a killer. Okay, so don't think you're alone in that. Alright, so this is what you need to do first. And in this webinar, we're going to show you what to do first, the order to do it in, and how to do it, okay? So the main thing is people will say to you what the line might be, what way are you fixed, or what do you owe and owe. This is the first thing that will come up with your lender, with your taxman, or your accountant. He or she will want to know what you owe and owe. Buy a diary, pick a date, be it 31 December, be it 30th of June, be it today, and say, right, at this day, what do I own? Start what you own first, like the little girl there with the dolls. So write down the name of every property that you own and a description of where it is and what it's worth. Then look at the various banks around the town and that you may have visited in the last 3 or 4 years or longer, and literally go and find and ring up if necessary, go in and get them. But get the list of all the bank accounts that you have. You might be surprised what's in them. If you start any saving schemes and stop paying into them the last 10 years, dig out the paperwork, contact whoever the representative was, find out the account numbers. There's money in them, believe me, okay? Is there any vehicles you own? List them out. Pensions, even dead ones that you started 20 years ago. There's money there to be had, okay? But if you started a pension years ago and stopped paying interest because you couldn't afford it, well, find out the account number, the policy number of it, and write that down. Do you own any businesses? If a business is just paying you a wage, it's at least got some value. If it's not even doing that, it's got no value. But if it's doing more than that, it's got real value. Okay, so if you're involved in various businesses, list them down. Any old shares that you bought and forgot about, I wrote down Telecom there. But effectively, this is a big part of getting yourself straightened. Write down everything you own and put a value on it. Now you might have to ring people to find out what the value is, such as the savings scheme, but you'll get there, okay? Okay, and alright, and now we'll put into the second part of the day, which is finding out what you owe. Now, again, get your headings out. Right, mortgages, everyone seems to have a mortgage these days. Do you have any leases on vehicles, equipment, vans? If you do, write them down, ring up and find out how much is out on them. Okay? Taxes, do you owe anything in taxes? Whether the taxman knows or whether he doesn't know. Write down the figure. Various loans you have. No, that's not a mortgage. A mortgage is on property, but a loan can be to pay off your overdraft. Okay, have you any guarantees out to people so that if they don't pay something, you have to pay it? Have you borrowed off the bank of mum and dad? overdrafts, credit cards, store accounts. So when you write down what you owe, find out the figures. Don't just guess everything. Literally find out the figures, put it with the date, okay, and then you're getting closer to what you're worth. Now when I typed in what you're worth into Google, up came Liz Taylor's picture, and that was someone who had a huge amount of self-worth. And effectively, when you compare what you own versus what you owe, you now have to start making things happen. So I'll jump back to the previous webinar, which if you were registered, you received a video of it. Drop the excuses, the blaming, the giving out, the cribbing. We're all fed up with that. Think positive and push on. But your plan now has a base. And if it is a case that you owe more than what you own, big deal, okay? But we'll start putting a plan together to get that sorted out, okay? That's the first thing you've got to do in getting yourself financially back on track. Do not miss the boat on that one. Next thing is eliminate any non-tax deductible debt. The worst thing you could be doing is paying off loans and then paying taxes on the money used to pay off those loans. Okay? So here it is in a nutshell. Stop and cash in any pointless saving schemes. Now I will come back to this in the very last webinar. If you're paying into a pension, stop paying into it. Ask for a pension holiday. If you don't get it, stop the direct debit. Your money will be fine. We'll get it back for you. You need to start putting safety money aside. That's the amount of money it costs you to live for you and your family for the next 3 months. Okay, when you start gathering that up, and the first 2 items will help make that happen. If you're paying a mortgage on a property that's empty, stop the direct debit. You need to make some hard decisions now. And in the first webinar, I pointed out about making the hard conversations. Either with customers, lenders, partners, employees, whatever it is. You won't get anywhere unless you're prepared to do this part. Okay? Has to happen. And we're going to get rid of these items. Okay, we're going to pay them off and not run them up again. The credit cards, the family loans, your home mortgage, okay, car loans, store cards. There may even be a few more, depending on your first list. And what was your first list? Your first list was what you owe. Okay, so let's check that. Okay. And what order did you pay them off? And I'll come back to this on webinar 6. Littlest first. You hit the littlest non-tax deductible debt first. It might be the credit card, it might be the family loan, but you get rid of that. And once you've that paid off, you don't go drinking the money, you use that money on top of more money to pay off the next one, and you get going. And believe me, it'll make a huge effort. So in our next webinar, okay, I just want to alleviate some fears. What can they do to you anyway? Okay, I'm going to hit on the 8 solutions to your mortgage arrears. Okay, they are there. You just aren't being told about them. And if people do turn on you, what is a judgment? What can it do to you? And insolvency, be it putting your business into liquidation or evading a personal insolvency legislation, which really isn't that developed yet. Okay, so but I just want to touch on it hard. Okay, so if you want to do that, that's our website, and just click on the 6-minute sessions to register for the next one. Thanks very much. Talk to you soon.